They go in, they struggle. Man, you can't make any money. You can make money selling lollipops, doing lawn care, but you have to focus and start with the end in mind. I could sit on the couch for free. You can run a business and make zero money. I'm gonna job cost the job. This is super important. It's like a job ghost. This number right here, this is what matters. Woo! Let's do this. Hey, today we are talking about how to price your services. This is a really, really important topic for you to watch all the way through, because right now we're in that part of the season where we're shifting gears. We're doing whatever our in-season services are, and we're shifting into that fall and winter time. And you may be looking to add new services. You may be switching gears into fall cleanups and kind of changing things around. So I wanted to go over some very, very crucial information that will help you price your services in general, even if you're starting a brand new business. So if this information helps you at all, make sure you hit like and share this to anyone else that this could help. So pricing your services. I get millions and millions and millions of questions about that. And I'm going to go over a couple different ways. The first way, what I really, really like, I call this the 50% rule. This is from a mentor and coach of mine, and it's the most simplistic way to me to just get out there and start pricing stuff. So what this states is whatever your labor plus your material is. Make sure your material, you've added tax. It's crazy. Like on all this times you see material, like always add tax. I can't tell you how many contractors, they just look at the pricing, they don't add tax, and how they lose on that. And you could be losing 10%, some areas 6%, like on every single job. So this is after you have added tax to your material. Basically what this says is whatever this number equals here, this X, we're going to add 50%. And that will get us a 50% gross profit. In a company, that's a really, really good starting base. You'd be looking at the hours of what your crew would be, like what they would have to do to, how long the job will take, and how much you would be paying your crew. You would add all that material to that, and then you would add 50% to this. This is like a very easy get into rock and roll way to do your numbers. That will create, like, to get to gross profit, that is all of your cost of goods sold and your labor to actually create that product, create whatever service it is, and then that final chunk, what's left over, that 50%, that goes to cover your overhead, which is your pay, the shop pay, all the other things. And 50% is a really good number to start if you're starting out and you want to get this figured out and want to get the ball rolling. Do not look at some other company. This is what everybody does. Well, so-and-so charges this and so-and-so charges that, and I want to get more work, so I'm going to go just a little bit under. Do not make that mistake. It does not matter. Sell on your value, the company's value, what you bring to the table. Do not sell on price. Second, we're going to go with what I do in my company. This is a man-hour rate plus material. So the material still stays the same. The material, you would mark up tax, and then you would probably add 50%, so you get a 50% gross profit on that. The man-hour rate, to me, I roll all the overhead into the man-hour rate. I roll all my information in on a big Excel spreadsheet. I believe that's still available at jacobgodar.com. We go over this in GrowCom a lot, talking about numbers, lots of questions about numbers, and that's like one of the valuable things. Like learning your numbers and learning how to estimate is a big deal. But once you've created a man-hour rate, to me, I like this even better than this general starting way. Really lets you know that all of your overhead is getting covered in that hourly rate. And it shows you exactly what you need to price. And then what I do is on this hourly rate, I might have 3 different services. I might have mowing, I might have landscaping, and I might have applications. Well, I want a blended 30% net profit, right? So to get to that blended 30, I might realize that my mowing side is going to be lower. Maybe it's going to be 10% net. And then maybe my landscaping side is going to be 35. And maybe my application side is going to be 40. I don't know if that's the actual average, but what I shoot for as a company is a blended 30% net profit margin. All of this is super, super important. Your profitability, the money you make, is crucial in your company. So you have your P&L sheet, right? You have your income, you have all of your costs to produce that, your COGS, then you got your gross GP, your gross profit, and then that's gonna knock out your overhead, and then down at the very bottom of that is gonna be your net. This number right here, this is what matters. This top number, this is a vanity number. Do I really push to grow the vanity number? Yes. because I want revenues. I want, obviously, every business I get into quickly get above $1 million so I can have staff, so I can get out of the race of being pressured all the time to do all the things. I can unload some of the hats. You really need to focus on building a profitable company. I hear so many people say what I mentioned earlier. They looked at what other people were charging and they charged that. Well, if you lower this so much because whatever it costs you a lot to operate, whatever that is, like, and you have next to no profit, but you went out and got work, you could go out and, like, I could sit on the couch for free. So you can run a business and make zero money and have nothing to show for it. Now, there's going to be times of serious growth where you're going to show less profits because long term you're going to have much more profits. But I just, not enough people think about the bottom line when they start their business. They don't think about the numbers enough. They go in and what do? They struggle and they're challenged and they're like, man, you can't make any money. You can make money selling lollipops, doing lawn care, launching spaceships, like whatever it is. But you have to focus and start with the end in mind. Having a plan. If you don't have a plan, if you don't plan, I can't even remember the saying right now. If you have no plan, you plan to fail, or whatever that is. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Got it. If you don't plan for this, you're not going to win. And that's another deal. You need to put yourself around badass people. That's why I created GrowCom, to add value and have a group where people get inside and you're not just like in a lawn care group. I just don't like seeing bullshit talk. I don't like seeing people talk bad about customers, the business, the industry, because I'm a professional and I want to be around professionals. So if you don't focus with this at the end and you just focus on what other people are charging, you're not going to end up with the right amount of profit. You're going to work yourself to death and you're going to try to grow your company, and because you were competing on price at first, then you go and you add all this overhead to your business. You start getting a shop, you start growing, you're like, hey, I need this, I need this, I need this. You're like, oh, I just need to get to this revenue number so I can finally pay myself, or I can finally pay down the debts, or I can finally do this, I can finally do that. It's a rat race. It will never get better. Start with the end in mind. That's your profit, your net profit. Start with the end in mind. As you're moving forward with your business and you're pricing your services, here's a couple rules. There's a million ways to estimate, but this is the stuff I really like. This is easy. This takes a little more because you got to put a whole spreadsheet together of all your overhead. This right here, the very last piece, it's never perfect. Perfection stands in the way of progress. So what does that mean? Price some stuff. We're going to test and we're going to adjust. We're going to go out. I'm going to do, say, my man hour rate. I'm going to price some stuff. I'm going to job cost the job. This is super important. It's like a job ghost. I'm going to job cost the job. This means, how does my man hours, and I'm going to call that estimated man hours, line up versus my actual, okay? Those two. See, like, isn't it funny how there's just these two parts to this estimate, any of this stuff? There's always just labor and material. I'm going to see how this lines up, those two against each other, and then I'm going to see how my material, my estimated material, and my actual material line up. So I'm going to track that. That is job costing. Don't make it harder. Keep it simple, stupid. That's job costing. Job costing tells me if I am constantly coming out with, I went negative $1,000, I went negative 15 man hours. Everybody wants a silver bullet for pricing their jobs. They want a silver bullet for building a business. They want a silver bullet for this, silver bullet for that, silver bullet to not be fat, like whatever. It takes work and it takes adjusting. We do this. We see at the end of a job, where did we come out based off of our estimated numbers? If we're constantly going over on time, we adjust. We adjust our man hours for certain specific parts. Maybe it's a cleanup, maybe it's a patio. Maybe we realize that we're not quoting enough time for the screeding or the laying of the pavers, so then we increase those. Or maybe down here, we realize we're always going over material on account it to a patio again. Because a lot of the patios, we do have curves on them and so on and so forth, and we're not counting enough overage for all the cutoff and the waste. So this is a lot of information. This is a lot to kind of go through. This is business 101. This is how you price your services, and it's as simple as that. Don't overcomplicate this. Don't make this hard. This is a very easy way to start. 50% rule. You mark up everything 50%. Your labor cost and your material cost. So basically whatever it takes to price to do the job, mark it up 50%. That gives you a 50% gross profit. A little more advanced, like this, I'm not accounting for overhead, I'm just assuming that's gonna cover my overhead. A little more advanced, a man hour rate, where you start building out your hourly rate, more information goes into that, so you know you're recovering all costs over the course of the year, and then you add that to material, and then this would give you your final estimated price. And then price, test, and adjust accordingly. This and everything else that goes into your business, foundational 4 points, everything about your business is the kind of stuff we hit on in GrowCom, the kind of stuff we talk about to scale and grow. My whole life is revolving around inspiring other people and helping other people grow their company. And from starting a company that's scaled to multi-million dollars and starting another landscape company in a different state and seeing that it's going to go to $1 million in no time, I'm just excited to share this information with other people because I hear I'm working too hard, I'm this, I'm that, and the businesses struggle to get to this point where they can get enough help. And making sure you've got like a ton of profit and you're growing your company and get it to a size where you can afford some of that help can change your life, and it can make it where you're not changing your business owner. You go from being an operator in a business to a business owner. And that's where you want to be. If you like this content and this helped you at all, make sure you like this and share this with someone else that'll help. Leave in the comments below if you got any other questions on this. I would love to get with you. If you want to dive deeper in, join GrowCom. We'd love to have you in the group. We're building a group of badass rock stars. I'll talk to you soon.